like a comedy, like a satire, because it got some like dark moments, but it's funny.
With black people?
Yeah, with black people. Uh-huh.
And you watch it?
Yeah, I'm watching it. It's good. I like it.
Do you relate?
Huh?
Are you relating?
I'm not relating.
Are you relating? Oh, okay. Speaking of relating, a name is a name. A rose is still a rosé. A Target is still a Target. What are you laughing at? You know what I'm getting into?
No, I don't.
Tiana is still Tiana. So I'm asking this question, and she has no clue what I'm about to say. But for a long time, I was calling Tiana instead of, I was calling Tiana, and her name is Tiana. In my mind, I'm looking at the way that I'm reading it in my own perception. Instead of saying Tiana, I was saying Tiana. And until I was corrected, I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I really, really, really thought I was doing it the right way. But still, even when I was mispronouncing Ariel's name, right? And when I was mispronouncing Ariel's name, she corrected me. And I still, in my little brain, was thinking, Ariel, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, long story short, the Vice President Harris and people mispronouncing the name. And I can really, 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 really understand. I'm listening to some of the things, and I'm seeing how some people can kind of disrespect, because remember, we would do the same thing with Shanae, or we'd make jokes about Shaquilla, or you know what I'm saying, back in the day. And so I'm just thinking about the times that I was calling my friend by a name that really wasn't her name, and how important it was for me to pronounce the name right. And even though I was thinking, oh my gosh, Tiana, I'm just making such a beautiful name, and Tiana is a beautiful name. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know where Tiana came. It was just me saying, oh, I think it's Tiana. And you're like, no, it's Tiana. And so I'm like thinking, oh, is it me because I'm trying not to be country or something? Or I'm trying, you know what I'm saying? So what do you think about the whole debate? And how do you say the vice president's name?
Kamala. Kamala, right?
Kamala.
Kamala.
See?
And not Kamala?
See?
Kamala. Okay.
I want you to say it. Say her name. Yes, say her name.
Look, let me tell you, from
say her name.
Because it's not even like, sometimes they make it like this whole race thing of, oh, people aren't, you're not respecting the black name. You're not taking the time out to pronounce it correctly. But just like you said, as another black individual, sometimes we say another black individual person's name wrong. And it's not something to personally slight the person or disrespect their name. Sometimes you just say it wrong. People have complex names. I've seen people of other race and nationalities that have complex names. Sometimes it's difficult. Yes, I try my best to try to get the pronunciation right. I try to ask, okay, did I say it right?
Yeah. But I think that the issue that most of we're having is that even if somebody tells you to pronounce it right and you don't want to pronounce it right, and then you want to be like, well, I'll call it whatever I want to, or blah, 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 blah. That's the issues that people might be having, because we can get Joe right. We can get John right. We can get whatever name correct. But I just think that what we're looking at is sometimes it is how we respect that person who's on the other side. And I think that that's pretty much what it's about. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine somebody and you're telling somebody, well, you can pronounce the name right. Well, this is not how I say it, blah, 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 blah. It is the rhetoric that is behind how they're doing that. Because when you correct me that one time and you explained it to me, you never had to do it again. Do you see what I'm saying? But I can say, well, I'm going to call you whatever. So I think that because of the fact that people are like, oh, well, Kamala, who is that, whatever. I think that it should be respected.
I get what you're saying, because it is rude if someone's telling you that they want to be called by their name and it to be pronounced correctly, that you respect that and you try your best to, accommodate them. I get that, but I also get, like, when you're at odds with someone and you don't like somebody, that's your initial response is not necessarily like a race thing. Sometimes you're just like, I don't like that person, so I call them whatever I want to call them. It's just more like you just dislike the person, and so you being disrespectful because you dislike them. Does it make it okay? No, but I'm just saying is sometimes I think they take it and they make it more into a race thing when sometimes it's just like, I don't like this person. I'll say whatever I'll call them whatever I want to call them. But it's rude. But
I think
it's not
that
necessarily
the reason that we look for it as a race thing, because the people who are saying it are like, they're coming across as racist. And then, well, there's race, there's ethnicity, right? And there's nationality. So a race thing is us being put into a certain box because of our color. You know what I'm saying? They're making it a black, because when you're looking at somebody, you can see somebody who's black, right? Ethnicity would be our heritage or some of the things that we have in common. But putting somebody in a race box is putting somebody in a blank box. So just because we look black, we're put in that black category, right? And then when people put us in the black category, they kind of like stereotype us with whatever black. But that's just the ethnicity would be, me being ethnic has something to do with our culture, something to do with our traditions, you know what I'm saying? Nationality is, we're born in America. So my nationality is an American. You get what I'm saying? If you see if you see an African, if you see an Afro-Latino, and if you see a black American, they're going to all fall in the same category, quote, black, as a race. Do you get what I'm saying? The ethnicity is different because the ethnicity is somebody born in the Caribbean. The ethnicity is somebody born in America. The ethnicity is somebody born in Africa. And so we have different culture, ethnicity, but race, we're still, quote, black. You see what I'm saying? And nationality, this person is from the Caribbean. This person is from Africa. This person's from the United States. And I just think that we can veil racism. We can put little things on it. But if somebody tells you, don't call me Toby, well, I'm going to call you what I want to call you. And if somebody has that type of rhetoric behind it, and if somebody's saying, hey, don't do that, and you say, no, I'm still going to call you Toby because, shit, I don't want to pronounce it, I'm going to call you Toby, I can see how somebody might say it is racist because you won't do that to someone else. You're not doing that to a other person, or we're seeing that you're not doing that to Pete Buttigieg, right? We're saying that you can pronounce all these other people correctly, but you are disrespecting. This is me. You know what I'm saying?
But this is also coming from a person who name calls people. So he was calling, I'm assuming you're talking about.
No. I am talking about him, but I'm also talking about some senators, like female senators, who are calling her incorrect and saying, well, but I'm going to call her what I want to call her. And I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to show you. I'll send you a clip to show you some of the things.
That sound more like it's just, yes, it's still disrespectful. It just sounds like it's like pettiness and cattiness and it don't really sound like racism. It just sounds like I'm catty. I'm gonna be, got you. I'm not gonna do what you wanted me to do. And but it's immature. But I'm not always like ready to flag something as racial because people are catty. I've seen people do that. Like, even if someone's name is like Susan, sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna call her Susie. Like, it's just one of those things that people do sometimes to be like rude, and it's more of a cattiness. I don't see it as like a racial thing. Now, if it's something where you clearly know, like, okay, this person has a history of being racist. This person is just doing it because, I don't like your African name or your name that comes out of heritage or something like that. Then I think that's different. But if this person is known to just be petty and catty and immature, that's just
them, and it's okay to do it.
I'm not saying it's okay, but I'm saying it's not a racial thing. I think we gotta like separate it. We can't always say it's like a racial thing. I'm listening to you.
I think that sometimes Here you go. I wanted you to see this.
Okay.
Justification of white supremacy. And let me just say this, because this congresswoman is a wonderful human being, but when you disrespect Kamala Harris by saying you will call her whatever you want, I know you don't intend it to be that way. That's the history and legacy of white disregard for the humanity of black people.
So now you're calling me racist.
I didn't say. I just said you were
yes,
racist.
that is complete.
You don't have to intend racism.
No. You are intending that I
your
am
disrespect
racist,
of Kamala
and
Harris
that is
part and parcel of
disrespect. It's offensive,
Congresswoman.
And it's
offensive. I'm not calling you a racist. I'm saying what the practice is.
You are. You absolutely are.
No, what's disgusting is your disrespect of her.
Professor,
this gentleman said,
you know
I
what?
didn't know her name.
Disgusting
He's
to
trying
women
to do
is
it.
her disrespect of women. She doesn't know what a woman is, and if 25 years ago,
Black women don't have the ability to tell black women who paid the price of blood to make this country what it is to tell them they're not real women.
25
They
years
care for
ago,
your babies
25 years
and
ago,
respected
I
your
became the
humanity.
first woman to graduate from the Citadel, the Military College of South Carolina. I
So
fought
call her
my
name
way
right.
through it to
So pronounce her name
blood,
right.
sweat,
Let
and
me
tears.
actually pronounce her name
And
right.
Kamala Harris is
You said
I
it
will
without
say
calling her
any
Nancy.
way they want.
It's Kamala. You're doing this on purpose, Congressman.
That's
disrespectful.
You can't expect people to If a man put on a skirt and walked that stage 25 years ago, she
You're a
would have
white
said
woman,
it. She would have
disrespecting a
taken
black
that
woman. That is
achievement away from women.
problematic.
That's
Dyson, let me get in
disgusting.
here because I want to play one more bit from Ellie's.
He didn't call her racist. She says, "Are you calling me racist?" He says, "No, I never called you a racist." Because she's saying that she's a racist. He never called her racist. He's saying you're disrespecting. And so that is totally disrespect. That has nothing to do with racism. But she's saying that I'm not being racist. So then she's saying, well, I graduated from college and I did this. Every accolade that I'm not, let me take it off of Kamala Harris. Let me just say, me being in the military and me seeing different things, let me say me as a black person who has been bullied by other black people for not being black enough. Let me say that me as a black person who has been bullied by white people because I'm not white. You know what I'm saying? When I see that kind of stuff and when I see that, he's saying, hey, sweetheart, you are the first thing that he prefaced that comment to her was, I respect you and I hold you in high regard. He didn't say anything wrong to her. And she said, you calling me a racist. We're not making it, it's about respect. It has nothing to do with racism. It's about respect. And I'm saying like, okay, you're saying it's racism, but it's about respect. And yeah, it's not a racial card. I'm just saying that you're saying that to her, but nobody's going to call you out your name. We could make 1,000 different things, but no one's calling you out your name. And if somebody tells you her name and then you still don't want to get it right or to say something and you still want to pronounce it incorrectly or do it, say, well, I can call it whatever I want. That's the disrespect that I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's racist. I try not to look at race as, I try not to look at something and say, oh, they're being racist. Oh, they're being that. I think sometimes it can be disrespectful. I think that sometimes a black person could do the same exact thing. I'm not going to say that's racist. I'm going to say, that's disrespectful.
Yeah,
but I'm also going to say that sometimes
not a
Did you
not
see
a
that
ring
shit?
and dash.
Did you see her?
Not a buzz your
But did you see her?
doorbell. Yes, it just like
But
walk
the fact
off,
that
like,
it
was very
she does that all
rude.
the time.
Really?
Yeah.
That is so rude. Like a ding dong dash is what they call it, right?
Yeah, and so
like,
she'll do that.
she didn't even wave
What
or
she gonna do?
anything.
She gonna-
It was just like
she can't
ding
see through
dong,
that.
and just
She can't see through that.
uh
But my thing is, if there's a gate there, why would you ring the doorbell?
right.
But she's gonna walk down, and you're gonna see her come back in 1 second. She's gonna go down to the corner.
And then she gonna ring your doorbell again?
She's not gonna ring it again. She's gonna come back through because I'll look sometimes if I'm out there. But yeah,
Wow, she's strange. Does she just like the sound of the doorbell or something?
no, she comes and says hi. She's older. She had her spouse or her partner died like last year, and so she walks up and down the street.
Or so she lonely.
So I think that it's loneliness. Yeah.
But that was so weird. It was a ding dong dash. It was like,
Yeah, but my thing is
How
that
would you-
you're dinging the damn doorbell and my fucking gate is open. So what happened was like yesterday I was like lying down and I'm like thinking, oh my gosh, somebody's at my door. I jump up and that's the kind of shit that she does. But like you're saying, she's gone. So I'm like thinking, okay, where did this person go? Hold on. Let me see what else I have saved for you.
Yeah, you're going to have a conversation with her. Ma'am, I understand you're a little lonely.
Baby,
If my door is open, you are more than welcome for us to come in and chat, but do not be ding-donging and dashing. Because I can't imagine if I'm taking a nap or sleeping or resting and then I'm rushing. Let me see who's here.
Yeah.
And she off down the street.
She does it all the time. I don't know what else I had for you.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
But yeah, I think that was a good video because you could just see the defensiveness in this woman. Like, she knows she's doing wrong. Anytime you're getting doubling down and doing all that defensive talk, oh, I can do this, and I'm the first person who graduated from this, and I'm doing this. It's like, why you get so defensive? If you feel like what you're doing is fair, you should just be like, oh, that's what I'm choosing to call her, and just. But she's doing all of this extra, oh, this is why I can, and it don't matter, and she don't know what a woman is, and I'm like, what does this have to do with you not pronouncing her name correctly? If you're doing it as a dig because you're childish, own it. I'm childish, I'm doing it as a dig, and I'm being disrespectful on purpose because I don't like this person. But you got to leave the petty business out of politics. Like, you are in a prestigious position. Like, be professional. At the end of the day, if you want to talk about her at your dinner party with your friends, that's fine. But if you're on a public platform, like, be respectful. So I can see why people was upset about her behavior on there. And you could tell she knows she was wrong. She wouldn't have did all that backtracking. Oh, well, I can do this because this and this.
So that's all I'm saying. But I also thought it just made me think about it because for me, I wanted to get your name right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like thinking, you know what? I totally understand. And the minute that you told me that, I have diligently tried to say Tiana. You know what I'm saying? And it is one of the things, like, imagine me saying Tiana for years.
Yeah.
And not saying, but it's not like I'm calling you by your name. We're talking and stuff, so I don't have to say Tiana. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably, but anyway, but once
I've had people of other race, like, struggle with saying my name, and then they'll give up, like, oh, can I just call you this, or can I just? So I had to kind of get where, like, part of me wants to be like, no, you can call me by my name, but then part of me is just like, how important is it to me? What setting are we in? And how much do I want to keep having this conversation with this person? Do I want to keep fighting for this, or is this something I want to just drop and move on? So it is a struggle sometimes, because I've had it in a professional setting where I'm just like, I understand my name is different, but really when you break it down, it's not that hard to remember.
Exactly.
It's not that hard to pronounce.
Exactly.
It's not that huge
Tell
of a
them.
name. And so,
I'm with you.
sometimes I do get a little bit, like, bothered,
And you
but I
should.
have to remind myself, I'm like, okay, well, who is this person? What kind of character of a person this is? Okay, maybe they're just like this. I'm going to go ahead and be forgiving of this. But I do get how, if it's one of those things that you're being petty, you're being spiteful by not saying your name correctly, and we're in a professional setting, now I have a problem. If you're just like, oh, I'm doing this out of spite and I want to upset her, so I'm just going to call her the wrong name. And we're in a professional setting. We're like...
and I think that men call me Jessica. This one guy would call me Jessica all the time. And I think that would fuck me, that just bothers me. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just like, bitch, if you know somebody's name, call them by their correct name. Because and after that, it becomes bullying. It becomes bullying. There's nothing more than a bully. So even though you're not saying, that's bullying. So
It is.
So anyway, I was just thinking like, oh, you know what? That is very good, because even with Ariel, she had to tell me, because I'm like thinking Ariel, that's in my mind. So I'm like, let me be specific and intent about calling her name, because if somebody says Jeffrey, my name ain't Jeffrey. It's Jeffrey. When somebody spells my name incorrectly, it's not that I'm trying to say, oh, I'm just letting them know that, hey, spell it R-E-Y. And when they spell it that way, so that we can all be on the same page. And I'm not mad that you got it wrong, but I just want you to know that it's R-E-Y, because you could spell Jefffery Adams and send me a text message and I'll never ever get it. Or you can spell my name wrong, you know what I'm saying, to a Gmail, and I'll never get it because I'm allowing you to spell it wrong. Do you get what I'm saying?
As you were saying it, I'm thinking like, I wonder how I have it spelled in my phone.
Yeah, and some people spell it like that. And I had a teacher who spelled my name Jeffory, Jefforey. So for me, it was okay. But my mom's like, no, that's not your name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when people are trying to say your name, they're not going to be able to say Jeffrey, and you need to make it right. You know what I'm saying? Needless to say, I kept the T-shirt the whole fucking year, though. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely important to be respectful and try to call people by their name. Respect is very big for me. But at the end of the day, I just want to point out, because there is some people out there that likes to say, oh, this is racist, oh, this is racist. And I like us to be a little bit more discerning, because I don't want us to water down racism, that word, the power of, like, if you know someone's racist and you call them out, I want you to know, hey, if I call that person racist, they racist. Instead of we're using it as a blanket statement when people do some, misgivings. It's like, no, I want to make sure we're calling a spade and not calling a club a spade,
Girl, this is a conversation that you and I have to have, because I'm with you.
Yeah.
In a certain extent. Because I think that some people can have racist ways. Well, let me not say racist, but they can have hierarchy, and they can think that, remember, there is all these different forms of hierarchy, and race is a method to make a hierarchy. And so that's
then
what I'm
you're
saying.
racist.
And so,
yeah.
But I'm saying that there are some times that people, it is racism when you see somebody who's black and you lock your doors immediately. But somebody can say, no, it's not racism. It's just that I just felt, I just want to lock my doors because I saw somebody. But you only do it when certain people come. Now, you don't have to, because technically that's not racism. It's like, oh, I need to lock my doors anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? You can look at it like that. But then some people say, I just felt uncomfortable because it was a black man. Is that racism?
That's still racism. If it's because of a particular person's race, it's racism. Like, if I lock my doors every time some person come by,
correct,
then that's not racism.
But I can say I usually lock my doors, but when I saw them, I just locked them. So I'm just saying, because somebody can say that's not racism. It's just that I'm locking my doors, and I just happen to see somebody who I thought looked criminal because they were a color that wasn't the same.
If it's based on color, it's racism.
Correct.
Yeah. If it's like, if I'm just saying, okay, if I see some person is at night, you look a little bit like you're out for trouble. I see you do like sketchy random stuff, and regardless of your race, I'm locking my door. Then that's different. But if it's like, well, I could see both a white person or an Asian person do the same thing as a black man, but if a black man, I'm seeing him do it like that, I'm locking my doors, but I'm not gonna lock my doors if I see an Asian or white man do the same thing. Or I'm crossing the street, if I see a black man coming down, but I don't do that if I see an Asian or white man, then that's racism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, do you do that?
What, cross the street if I see a certain guy coming down?
I'm just asking the question, and it has nothing to do.
No, I don't do that.
Do you think that sometimes we have our own form of self-racism?
What you mean?
Let me say it
Break
like
it down for
that.
me.
Let me say it, because there are certain times that we'll see white people skateboarding and everything, and we'll be like, oh, they're so funny. They're so good. The minute we see somebody black, look at them. They're going to tear up the motherfucking neighborhood. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm just giving an example, and it's not
like
that
our own
I've never seen you do that. So let me. We have our own self-prejudice and self-hatred. So I've seen people can ride bicycles, and we can be going down the street, and then I can see a person, they'll say, oh my gosh, look at them hoodlums. Then I can see a different group, and then they don't even part their lips, and I'm like thinking, girl, I don't get why you are not saying anything. And when you just saw 3 black people just a second ago, you were like, damn, where they going? Blah, blah, blah. But now you see 5 people, and then they're doing wheelies and shit like that, and they're turning around, and they're throwing shit and kicking over things, and you think, oh, they're just being kids. No, that's not being kids.
Everybody the same,
and
man.
that's what I say.
Because it's so funny, because I think about it, like, even sometimes you got to be cautious of how you judge certain people's behaviors. Now, you do need to be vigilant because you don't want to be that person who was like, la di da, and then you're attacked because you're not vigilant. But, I just remember, I don't know what made this come to my mind, but I remember walking down one night. It was like dark, and I remember it was this guy on a bicycle, and I'm thinking like, okay, let me be on guard. And, it's at night, I'm by myself, he out here on his bicycle, let me just be aware, be on guard, just in case something happens. And I remember the light changed, and we're at a red light together, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh, no. I saw, that's when you extra get clenched, because now you got to keep your eye, but you don't want the person to know you looking, and keep the little eye. And then next thing I know, the light changes, and he's like, you're very beautiful, and just like rolls off. And I'm just like, oh, okay, what like a strange thing. So it's just like, you got to be mindful. Sometimes we are quick to judge because we're used to saying, oh, this type of person does this, or, oh, that's a little sketchy. So you have to be mindful of your own personal judgments. Yes, stay vigilant, but don't get too judgmental sometimes, because you just never know what life has to offer you. And that person that you may be judging and thinking, oh, you sketchy, or, oh, these kids are up to no good.
Right.
Be the same kids that help you with your bags in your
The
house.
first people to help you with your bags. You know what I'm saying? You fall, they'll be the first people to run
Help
to your
lift
aid
you up.
because their parents have taught them different things. I think that me and my brother were growing up, we had to do a lot. I don't want to say like service, but we helped a lot of people in our neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I think that there are a lot of people who do that kind of stuff, but I just think that sometimes randomly, I think that everybody has those little small things, and it's unintentional, but there is like small hierarchies in society. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what I think and that's where the racism comes from.
Yeah. And I think big on like my bike situation. It's like the guy I don't even know what the race of the guy was, but it didn't matter. I was never thinking race. I was just thinking, it's kind of late and this guy's out here bicycling. Let me be aware. And I think that's the difference between some people will see it as, well, what race is this? Maybe I should be clenched. I had a friend one time back in the day that told me, like, but wouldn't you feel like I get a little, and she was a Caucasian friend, and she was like, I just feel a little uncomfortable if it's like black men. And I was just like, that rubbed me the wrong way. Like, because what's the difference between, and she said, oh, well, I'm not racist. My stepbrother is black. And she like got real mad, but I'm like, it's a racist comment because you're making mention of the person's race. Like, if you said you wouldn't feel the same way if it was two Caucasian gentlemen as opposed to two black gentlemen, I mean, where am I supposed to go with those comments other than like, there's a little racist, like.
But she said she wasn't racist.
But she said because her stepbrother is black, and so,
right.
So I get exactly where you're at. Yeah,
she ain't. You know what I'm saying? In her mind, she's just saying, "I'm just scared." But because of those thoughts that were in her mind, she's scared because of their race. You know what I'm saying? And like she's saying, I'm not racist. Like, yeah, but in your mind, that's like a racist thought. But it's not like you're racist to hate.
Yeah.
It is more like you're basing something. Let me not say racist.
Stereotype.
Let me say basing something on race.
Yeah.
And that's easier than saying racist, because when we say racist, it's wrong. But you're basing, your thoughts are based on race. You know what I'm saying? And we based on race when a black person comes up behind you and you grab your purse. You know what I'm saying? And like, those are just different things that I think most of my friends don't even want to talk about, because for us, it's like, girl, I want to be on my own merit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want people to judge me because of my race. I want people to see me as Jeffrey and not Jeffrey, the black guy. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how I spent my entire life being, even shit, I want to say people who didn't want me, who said that I was too black, not black enough. Girl, they never told me I was too black. They have never said that. But you know what I'm saying? And so I felt like, shit, sometimes you just feel like you don't belong in your own race. And I'm like thinking, shit, have you ever had that experience?
No.
Ever?
No, I don't think I've ever had that experience. I've known other people who've been told like, oh, you talk.
They never told you that.
No,
You was a fighter in high school, though, weren't you?
I can't be telling y'all my life story.
Are you serious?
I can't tell y'all my life story.
But yeah, because in my mind, I would think that you were a person that they probably said, "Oh my gosh, she thinks that she talks too white or blah 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 blah. She talks too proper. Or why are you trying to talk proper?" I think you know what I'm saying because you have your call center voice on all the time. See, and you know what I'm talking about when I say call center voice, right?
Yes.
Because it's like, "Hi, this is Jeffrey. How are you? I'm fine. Yes." I know that's too much of a call center.
Well, you know, it really depends on the setting. It really depends on the setting. But
So you do your switch up? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, it's not necessarily a switch up. I think I just feel more comfortable with like in
Isn't that a
certain
switch
settings.
up? So you said in certain settings you switch
in
up.
certain settings, yeah, I feel more comfortable. So
Why am I being the devil's advocate to say?
so then I'm less mindful of like how I'm speaking, what I'm saying, because I'm more comfortable. But when I'm in other settings, I'm like, okay, I got to be on my P's and Q's. It goes back to that video we
Are you
just
on your
watched
P's and Q's
about
now?
her professionalism. To a certain extent, you know,
I'm just asking.
I'm comfortable,
So, but
you know,
is that your ghetto voice?
no.
I'm just wondering.
So my like when I'm comfortable and I'm chilling, my speaking voice is like you hear it, it's a lot more of the southern drawl.
I never like now. That what you're saying?
No. Because usually I just be like I get a little bit more like relaxed in my speech. And
Cha.
dun.
Keep going.
Dun. But yeah, I mean, I think we all kind of have that. You have your professional voice,
Girl.
You have your voice that you use in certain settings, and then you have like I'm comfortable.
So give me your professional voice,
relaxing.
because I don't hear a difference than when we're by ourselves. I just hear this right here the whole time.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, my
Maybe
professional
you're
voice
giving me
is that,
professional.
hello, and thank you for calling. How are you doing today? What have you been up to? Well, actually, I wouldn't say what have you been up to. I would say, what things have you been engaging in? Like, what have I been up to?
But
it's more like when I'm more
do you
comfortable.
change your dialect?
Yeah.
Like how? Because I don't get it. I do.
Maybe
get
I
it.
think I do.
Right,
Maybe
I'm thinking
I do
that's
sound
what I'm
the
thinking. I'm
same.
thinking that you do, but I think you sound the same. Or maybe to
I
me,
do.
well, maybe to me, I just don't hear it. You know what I'm saying? And I hear that, or it's that you can switch up, and I get it. You know what I'm saying?
But maybe also you always see me in comfortable settings, so that's why I always sound the same. And maybe you don't really get to see me like when I have to be a little bit.
I'm like, girl.
But nowadays I am a lot more just comfortable in pretty much any setting.
How old are you now? 26.
Next.
Girl, you should be celebrating your age because you're gonna live to you're like at least 83.
You see, I'm gonna look good to at least 83. Why 83?
Oh, because everybody's at 83.
Then I just crumble.
Hold on, baby.
Okay.
My
That was
husband-
good talk about Kamala. No, I'm still not saying it right. Kamala. No, it's Kamala. I said it right the first time.
Yes. Okay. I'll do the Zuzu. I'm gonna have to call my husband.
Ordering some food.
Can I do the Zuzu? Minus jalapenos.
Oh, okay. I'm glad I was gonna get you the classic club with honey maple turkey with Swiss with no avocado, but okay,
Okay, I can do that, but make sure that the club doesn't have bacon on it. Okay.
No, I'm gonna get you the Zuzu with no jalapeno.
Okay.
Okay, that's enough for dinner tonight, right?
Yeah.
You want it? You okay with that with a toasted sourdough?
Yes, I am.
Sourdough. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, babe.
Ooh, I'm hungry again now too.
He's going to get me a sub.
Oh,
sub sandwich.
Is he dropping it off here?
Child, he says that good for dinner. I said dinner. Look at this. Girl, what is that? Okay.
Some moistness or some lack of moistness?
So that's lack
how sometimes your skin will get too moist, and then that's how it looks when it's like soggy.
Oh yeah, it could be a little bit because my feet sweat, but I think it's from because I put what do you call it, castor oil on.
Oh! You put castor oil on your whole body?
You have to see it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Your mom used to make you drink it, huh?
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Your mom used to make it?
Yeah, castor oil helps with constipation.
I ain't never heard. The old remedy.
Are you serious? See, I have to prove it to my sister because she's one of those castor oil.
Them old remedies. Look, and then next we'll see, and it also causes cancer when ingested.
See, laxative.
Let me see. Oh, okay. FDA recognizes that it's safe and effective stimulant for. Okay.
You see?
How much does she give you? What is it? Like
it's a tablespoon.
Oh, okay.
But can I put castor oil in my
I have
face?
to do that. That's probably more natural than. Oh, you're fine. Oh, okay. Beneficial for your skin.
So I have like a small bottle of castor oil that somebody gave me for my skin.
Castor oil is so thick. That's why
Feel it.
I
It is
used
thick.
to do the Jamaican castor oil for my hair, but
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
but then it's like it wasn't washing completely out in
It'll
the wash.
totally make you look younger.
What, on your skin?
Yep.
Is that you getting a beauty tip right here from the man? Write it down.
Okay.
Write it down.
Okay.
Come on now. Look at this. You got to write it down. I'm about to get me some castor oil today so I can continue. Yes.
Baby, that is one of the inexpensive castor oil or Vaseline, honey. I promise you. Now, think about it like this. If Vaseline caused cancer, they would be already getting their coins for the baby powder, right? Because Johnson & Johnson also did Vaseline and baby powder. So if Vaseline caused cancer, I can guarantee you that they would already have that in a lawsuit. But anyway, let's